So once again, welcome. Thank you for joining today's second episode in the series of webinars for Trellix partners. We will be talking today about the email security, and just to briefly refresh your memory, if maybe you didn't, or you maybe didn't yet get this information, here is the lineup of the webinar series that will be going through the next roughly 2 months, and feel free to join, or very much welcome to join any one of them. And yeah, today's email security topic will be handled by our dear colleague Dejan. Together with us are also colleagues Damian, also from Risk Security, and Mihai from Trellix, that will be helping with any questions and answers. You have the Q&A section open, so feel free to pop up questions there, and we will try to address it or as we go or at the end. So let's get started. Dan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, David. So welcome, everyone. Today we will explore Trellix email security, which is a solution designed to protect email infrastructure for dynamic threats. Email is crucial. It's a crucial communication tool for a modern business, but is also #1 threat vector for the cyber attacks. So the first, we should see what are the Trellix email security features and innovation. So from the start, if we look some statistic for what is the most successful attack vector, it is still until today the email which hackers use to make the first contact with the, let's say, victim or company. So today we will go through all the options that email security has to offer, and first we will take some slides and later on some demo, and also, let's say, some small POC, which we will see later. So for now, the Trellix identifies and looks has these key features. So the most important in my perspective is malware attachments, where Trellix email security takes attachment security to the next level by inspiring every file in multiple ways. Not only does it use advanced heretics analysis to detect known and unknown threats, but also employs virtual execution environments to observe suspicious file behavior. This ensures your systems are protected and even more sophisticated malware than the traditional defenses might miss. The second one is defend phishing detection. With attackers constantly evolving their methods, Trellix adapts by keeping an eye on your emails long after they have been delivered. By utilizing a state-of-the-art analytics engine, it detects subtle changes in email content or URLs that may later become malicious, providing continuous protection. Users benefit from automated remediation, saving valuable time and preventing potential breaches. The third most important feature is URL write, which feature is not just to protect users at the time of delivery, but it continues to monitor links whatever they clicked. This real-time validation ensures that the event time delayed or clicked attacks are stopped. By rerouting users through secure gateways, Trellix ensures that they only access legitimate and safe destination. Also feature what is, let's say, what other vendors or let's say open source products don't have is impersonation protection. So this is when cyber criminals rely on their art of deceptions, but Trellix is equipped to see through their tricks by combining natural language processing with sender verification. Trellix can identify the most convincing imposters. Whether is spotting subtle anomalies and writing style of flagging decrements in sender domains, this feature ensures that no fraudulent email reach the target. The latest innovation is also phishing detections. So what is phishing? Phishing or QR code phishing is on the rise. So in emails, there can be scanned and have malicious links that can harm the companies. So for the detection of spam phishing website, we can see here an example what actually happens if somebody clicks on this link, and in the email the user will not see the direct link, but it will be protected with, let's say, URL right, which will redirect the user to some gateway where he will be informed so that he is accessing a malicious URL. And then it goes to Trellix threat intelligence, which is deep URL analysis, malicious URL lookup, and so on. And there, the engine says it's allowed, is warned, or just block. So it is based on policy which you have configured. So when email comes into the mailbox, there is a multi-stage inspection process, which we can see on screen. So first, it makes static analysis, then dynamic analysis, code analysis, statistical, and then fatigue. So what means it's clean, malicious, or if the policy is set to quarantine, it will go to quarantine. So we also discussed the phishing. So here is how it works with the QR code. So the next, the product deployment. Let's see how we can deploy this product. Trellix email security comes with two options. One is email security cloud, which is based in the cloud, and the second one is on-prem, which can be deployed VM or server into the data center. There are some flexible deployment options. Let's say for cloud, we have these options. So we have primary security email gateway with full hygiene. So when the email comes, it goes to email security engine, and then on cloud, let's say that can be Exchange, Office 365, it doesn't matter. It needs to be an email server and then to the recipient. The second options is full hygiene inline second hop behind a third-party security email gateway. So if customer has some other security solution, it can go first, go to the security email gateway from other vendor, and then to email security to Trellix email security, and then to recipient. The third one is full hygiene in BCC. So if you want, for example, if you are doing POC, then you can set up that all the emails go only to BCC, and there are only going to some analysis that you can see and show later to the customer. And the fourth option is Office 365, Google Workspace, native API integration. For the on-prem solution, on-prem can be inline mode, which goes to primary MTA, then to Trellix email security, and later on to Microsoft Exchange or any other mail server. The second option is also the BCC option, which enables only the monitoring, which can go from directly to Exchange, and then via BCC is sent to Trellix email security. The third one is appliance deployments that can go to then to the AWS Cloud SXI. It really doesn't matter. So all the options are covered in this section. So for those who are not familiar with the FireEye products, let's say the people that are on the call and are coming from the M site, we will just do a short overview. In this session, we will have a solution which is Email Security Cloud. And let's just take a quick look into the cloud interface. So when you log in, the first that you can see are the dashboards. So you can just customize it by how you want to use it, because you have all the different options. So there you can see what are the received message, delivered message, retroactive message size, pop attachments. So let me just say this, that we are working live on our clouds, so from FireEye solution. So, and you can see that that is hosted in Europe. That so you will go further, so we can see top message attachments, rejection reason. So it's RBL match, SPF failure, DMARC failure. So you can in start use it to depends on policy, but that cloud solution is going to the some checks that you don't overheat your internal mail server. So then you can see the top threats, which are in our case live on our system. Is you can see credential, phishing, malicious attachments, foreign books, and other malicious attachments. Further on, you can create some your spaces to, for example, I have here built inside threads, when you can see where are the most attacks coming from. Then you can see spam summary, video summary, advanced threat summary, impersonation attacks, malicious code, and so on. So that's the basic. So in the main menu, you have dashboard, which we are looking now. Then we can take a look for the current time. So that we can see, oh, there's also, because it is not happening a lot, but it is happening that some customer says, okay, we didn't receive that mail. What is the problem? The solution doesn't work. So you always have the options to see email trace. So what does that mean? That you can check all the emails that are coming. For example, in our case, we have inline. So it means that if a mail server from the sender is sending an email, it sends first to the email security cloud, and then the email security cloud does his job and sends forward to, let's say, the end mail server. And then you have some cases that, okay, that mail didn't come and so on. So you can always check. Let's say, for example, if I go to, let's say that some user says I didn't get some email from LinkedIn, for example. So we can do a quick search and say, okay, LinkedIn, and it should be from LinkedIn mail domain, and it should be addressed to me. So you can do the search, and then you can see that when was the email sent, from which email, to whom, and then what was the subject, and then you always can check the status. So that status means that the message was delivered to the our internal email server. You can also have a quick view. So what was options if the email was checked and what was wrong, was everything okay? So you have that it goes to the classical antivirus, spam solution, and most important, what is the main feature of security cloud, is that it goes to ATD, so to advanced threat detection. So if we, for example, go next to see how the quarantine looks, so we can see that all these emails that are in quarantine now can were the reason why we're there in quarantine. So you can see, for example, here in the first mail, it's spam. So the second one was detected by spam and ATD and so on. But let's say the most fun things started when we go to the advanced threat detection. So where we can see what was the actual detection, and we can deep dive to let's just click one example. Let's say this one. So we can see that advanced threat was detected. So when was received, what was the subject, source of the email server, who was the sender, to whom was sent it. It's, let's say, a classic email for phishing and do other harm. And in the overview, we can see what was actually going together. So that mail had an attachment which is, okay, it's still strange, but we will later look. It can be also Excel or doc file, it doesn't matter. And then what was the signature? So in this example was a Tron form book, and it was also malicious. Then the detected engines, which was dynamic analysis and GTI. Then we have the checksum, and we can also get the PCAP for VML captures and so on. We can also see on which where was the detonation done. In this example was on the Windows XP and also on Windows 7. So now it's getting, let's say, more interesting. So for all, we can see what was actually started to happen, what was everything that was going on. So for this example, we can see it was run that file and then also run Explorer and also were the files, which one were created and what was the changes in the registry, what were the calls out and what was actually happening. In this example, we see that it was PowerPoint. So you also, with the ATD, you get the whole analysis. So if we go further to detection, so we can see actually in detail what was happening. We can see the extract objects. If I just zoom in. So you can see what then that email was open. It has a callback to this domain. It was also open at this attachment. And then you see the whole procedure, what was actually happening. So that's more for the SOC teams and for other security analyzers, but you get the whole picture, what is actually happening. You also get the MITRE attacks, so reports of what you can see here. It was initial access, execution, defense, evaluation, credential access, discovery, collection, and so on. You can see also the files, what was happening, let's say, for example, Windows 7. So which files were created, changed, and so on. You can also see all the processes, registry changes, some API calls, network, what was happening on the network, what were the calls, and so on. So for this webinar, I also created some, let's say, small POC. So for example, you will see now that is my email on some internet provider which only use spam assassin and claim verb, which is the most what are the internet service providers are using. And for example, I have sent some 0-day how should I say, some nasty file. An example, you can see it was the XLS, and that file has come into my let's say, private mailbox, which is not secured by Trellix endpoint security. So it was sent it on my private mail. For example, I was also sending the same file to my real security email, and we can search it. For example, we can do a direct email trace, and let's say it was sent from sent to my work email. And here we can see that was blocked. And also as a user, I have get some notification. I'll show you how it works. So that is the email what the user gets. So it was sent from to my email, and it was blocked because it was found as malicious. And it wasn't delivered to my mailbox. So if we go through, we can also see it was detected by ATD, and it was quarantined. So, and on the base, on the policy, you can always set what is happening to when the malicious files are found in ATD. We can also go some alerts. So it was a Trojan, and it was found in Windows 7 environment. So what was the detection and so on. A new feature in Trellix email security cloud is also Wise. So Wise is an AI that helps. So that is that icon, what you can see here, and it can help you with a lot of things, so that you know what exactly was happening. So for example, if I just say that is the ID of this message, and let's say I want to know more, then I can ask why. So do analyze this ID, and let's see. So you get a short report what was happening. For example, I can say, give me more. So based on that one, it has no other details because it was not so, let's say, strong 0-day, but you can always ask him, for example, what can you do give me more examples. Maybe was not the good question. Let's see, because what can you do? So I'm sorry, but yesterday when I was checking that, so he has given me a list. So now you can see it's live and he gave me back. So what are the options that you can use it in the Trellix wise, so examples, which was also that I found this one and so on. You can also, let's say the last thing will be what can you also do the third party integrations with other vendors. So let's say, for example, Virus Total, URL Scan, Google SecOps, and so on. It is also now when Trellix merged FireEye and McAfee, there's also an option to have some DLP protection. So you can also, or it will be in this year that you can also include that one. And what it means, like if it goes DLP, so you can always set the options for, you can have the inbound like we saw now, and you can also, or the customer can also set for the outbound connection. So every email that are sending out, because there are examples that some company was infected and they were sending also these emails which were infected out. And you can also, in that case, you can also include the outbound option, so that every emails that are sending out of the organization are also scanned, protected by DLP and so on. So that is now from my side some overview that you can see what a solution can do, and let's open the Q&A.